So how's everybody today?
Good, how are you?
I'm exceptionally well, thank you for asking. So, any car owners in the room? Okay, anyone ever change a tire before? Did you enjoy changing the tire? Anybody in here have AAA that they changed the tire for you? Yeah, you would raise your hand. Okay, so many years ago, I'm driving home to Pittsburgh to visit my parents, and flat tire happens, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm downtown Pittsburgh, and I don't know if anybody's ever been there. It's a ghost town, and I'm there by myself, and I'm like, okay, just got this rental car, and first thing that popped in my mind was, I wish I had AAA. Because I was tired, I was sleepy, I wanted to be home, I wanted to visit my family, and I have to change the tire at 3 o'clock in the morning, really? So, today, the theme for today is talking about how we make this a world that works for everyone, right? By living in alignment with our higher power. What does that have to do with AAA? So, AAA offers us the benefits of roadside assistance. But check this out. We have the benefit of inside assistance. You have to be a member and pay dues for AAA. Inside service is free. It's free. Now, we've already heard from 2 people that took the foundations class. It is free, but it takes work. Now, the work is, what I'm going to talk about is the Tao of AAA. But it's more than 3 A's. It's like A to the 3rd power. So there's going to be a couple more. Okay? So you ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, part of this work involves 1, being awake. Are we all awake?
Yes.
Right here, right now.
Yes.
How do you know you're awake? You know? Because, check this out. Anybody ever rode the metro? Anybody ever doze off on the metro? Drive past your stop while riding on the metro? So, we have these varying stages or levels of wakefulness that we go, and there are times when, prayerfully, we go to sleep. Because part of our rejuvenation happens when we're asleep. Now, oftentimes we get into this spiritual thing and we curse the darkness and we curse the bad stuff and we curse the whatever that is. But all of it serves a purpose. So that when we're awake, we have the benefit of what happened when we were asleep. The key thing is, when we're awake, be alert. That's one of the most important things. When you're awake, be present in your wakefulness. Otherwise, you're just walking around. You know, we watch movies about zombies and stuff, and they're doing whatever they do, but they're not awake. They're not alive. So our challenge is, while I am awake, what does that mean? While I'm aware, what am I aware of? Because part of our awareness ties into perception. Because when you're awake, you're perceiving things, you're seeing things, you're touching things, you're perceiving it whether it's taste, touch, sound, etc., right? But what are you perceiving? In quantum physics, they talk about the observer effect. That the fact that you are observing something or someone, some situation, you, the observer, change it. So if you're awake and you're aware and you know that you have the ability simply from your perception to change what you're looking at, does that or does that not make us more mindful, more powerful, more present, knowing that if I'm watching the news and I, as the observer, have the ability to change what I'm watching? Pause for a second. I'm reading this book. Don't laugh at me. For those of you who know me, don't laugh at me. It's called The Tao of Star Wars. Dharma of Star Wars. You laughed anyway. I said not to, but that's okay. So it's about Star Wars, and it's talking about, it's showing this parallel between Zen Buddhism and Star Wars. And one of the things that this person says in the book is that by us watching the film, now get this, watching the film, Darth Vader changes us because we're watching it, and we, as you go through the story, you know that what's going on with Darth and how he was this boy and turned into this angry teen and da-da-da. but that we, the observers, are changing him. Now that threw me for a second, because this is frozen in film. How do I, the observer, change what I'm watching on film? Our perceptions, our emotions, turn him into whatever. Now it's through us. It's not necessarily him himself, but it's we who change him through us. You know what I'm saying? So, if I can change Darth Vader, then what can I not change? I can change pretty much anything based upon how I'm perceiving it then. I mean, when you think about it, that's ultimately what practitioners are doing. They're seeing the truth, and through the perception of truth, it changes the effect. By changing cause, by changing what I'm putting into source, into spirit, into mind, I'm changing and transforming what then shows up. So it does us great service to really be mindfully present and consciously awake as much as possible while not kicking ourselves for the times that we doze off. Because if we doze off, it's for a reason. When you're sitting on the train and you doze off, it's, I dozed off. We don't do that. I mean, I'm sure we've seen somebody on the metro probably do that, but we don't do that. We wake up, you don't want to drive past you. But often we curse ourselves and kick ourselves and punish ourselves for making mistakes, for not being able to reach that bar that we've set for ourselves. Why? Relax. It's all God and it's all good. So even if this is your benchmark for right now, bless it. Because how you perceive you changes you. Your perception of yourself changes you. If you perceive yourself as a failure, I'm not good enough, I'm never good at... Your perception changes every cell in your body. And because we talk about this changing stuff, and we talk about it in mind and in spirit. I'm talking about it changes your cells. Because what did Dr. Emoto say about what thoughts and emotions do to water? If thoughts and emotions can change the molecular structure of water so that if I focus hate and anger at this glass of water and look at it under a microscope, it looks like sludge. Take the exact same water and peace and love, and it looks like ice crystals, snowflakes. Same source of water, but my perception, what I feed into it, changes it. So what am I feeding into me when I am awake and conscious? What is my perception changing in me or in you? Just by how I perceive you. So our perception of terrorists, we're either making them more of a terror or we're turning them into peace, folks. Because if we perceive them as the enemy, our perception is making them. So how do we change it? We do that. How do we extend love to someone we don't want to? There's the work. There's the work saying that if we could go back far enough in that person's life, isn't there somewhere where they didn't cross that line? Can we love them at least here before they made that choice? We don't have to curse their entire life. Be awake enough to say, somewhere in them, under different circumstances, there's good. And I love that person. Allowing. Do we allow good to flow in us and through us? And part of that allowing is being able to receive it. Now, oftentimes, we already know that someone will pay a compliment, and I don't know that, guys, I don't know that we have this same thing that happens, because I don't know that we get compliments that often, but when someone gives a compliment and you, this whole thing or that, blah, 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 then you dismiss it. Rather than, thank you. Thank you for your compliment. Thank you for taking the time to notice something that I fluff off. Thank you because the person didn't have to say anything. Thank you for taking the time and the energy to step before me, communicating face to face, eye to eye, heart to heart, and you offered me a gift through your compliment. Thank you. And I'm open to receive it, and I allow it to happen. But we want to do this closed hand thing too often. And part of this closed hand thing is part of the process. So once again, don't kick yourself for having closed fists. Because depending on our background, depending on what happened, various abuse and things happen, we get this position that I'm not lowering my guard. Because every time I do, I get hit, I get hurt. It's part of the process. But acknowledge it. Don't, oh, no, I never stand with my fists up. Oh, no. I'm good. How are you today? Can you give me a hug? Oh, thank you. I'm not acknowledging it. I have to at least acknowledge, yes, I'm scared to be hurt. Ooh, to be able to even say, I feel afraid that if I put my guard down, you might hurt me. Just being present enough to say, that's what I feel, starts to loosen the grip. Till eventually the hands will open. Will they go back to this? Maybe, but maybe not. You have to start somewhere. So why not start with simply saying, I'm willing to entertain the thought that, not today, but I'm willing to entertain the thought that someday in my maybe distant, I don't know how long it's going to take, future somewhere, I will be a more loving, trusting person. I'm willing to believe that I can lower my guard. I'm willing to get to the point where I can be open and vulnerable and receptive and expressive of love. I'm willing. I don't feel it right now, but I'm willing to allow that to be my truth. Do you feel all right? Because you know that it's all right. There's a difference. Do you feel all right? Because it's all right. You're right where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Sitting where you're sitting because that's where you're supposed to be. By some grand divine order. The thing that said, I'm going to put Pluto here and Mercury here, and some creative force that keeps all of that rotating and spinning. That makes your kidneys do what your kidneys do and your liver do what your liver's doing, and you're not breathing you, something's breathing you. You can hold your breath, but only for so long. Because you sooner or later, that thing that says, no, you must breathe, and it breathes you, is keeping everything in divine order. It's when our egos and fears and stuff step up and we say, well, I don't see it. I tried to get this job and they didn't hire me. 6 months down the road, you know what? I'm glad I didn't get that job because I got that job and it was... How many times have things like that happened? Where, people used to say, when one door closes, another one opens. Or if the door closes, God's not going to close the door without opening the window. There's always the potential for the grand opportunity. When we step out of the way and say, I'm all right. No matter what's going on, I don't care about the snow, I'm all right. I don't care about my job, I'm all right. I don't care about my relationships, I'm all right. I don't care about the money, I'm all right. Because the moment we say, I'm all right, because it's all right, what does that mean? I trust. I'm completely open to trusting that everything is working in my perfect order. Everything is conspiring for my good. Everything. So Metro closing when it closed was conspiring. I may not know it, I may not see it, I may not feel it, I may not even want to believe it. But Metro being closed when it was closed was for my good. The snow fell exactly in front of the house the way it fell for my good. I don't need to understand everything. I don't understand what this muscle, I don't understand it. I don't understand the tendons. I don't understand. as long as it does what I want it to do when I want it to do, I'm good. And on those days when Tracy makes me work out, on those days when I make Tracy work out, sorry, I thought. On the days when we work out and it's like, ooh, I'm all right, it's all right, because that pain, that soreness means it's getting stronger. Yes, it's all right. So in every situation, be all right. As you believe. You know, it's said, we say it in New Thought. It's done to you as you believe. So what do you believe? This goes back to that perception thing and that being awake thing. Do you believe that you're unlucky? Or do you believe that you are blessed beyond measure? Do you believe that you are this individual human being, or that you are the thing itself? You are source showing up as you. For those who, way back, I don't even know when I spoke about this, and I said, because some people had this difficult time with this concept. So if God were this chemical formula called H2O, right? H2O shows up in a variety of ways, right? It shows up as steam and as rivers and streams and rain and hail and snowflakes. Let's talk snowflakes. Every single snowflake supposedly is different from every other one. How much snow did we just have? Now think about the concept. If every snowflake that fell was different, unique, and special from every other one, and that's just this recent blizzard? What about last year? Or the year before that? Or 1966 when I was born? Or before that? Every single snowflake is unique and different. But do they not all come from the same source? H2O. So why is it so difficult for us to say, source me, source you, source each and every one of us? Unique, individual manifestations of the thing itself. So, as you believe, do you believe that you are the thing itself, showing up as you? Do you believe that your thoughts have creative power? Do you believe that the words you speak are manifesting in your life? So that when you talk about the good in your life, more good shows up. Because imagine it as every word that falls out is a seed falling in the soil. The words that are falling out, are they crops that you really want to harvest? I'm growing corn. I'm growing bountiful, delicious things, carrots, that I can make carrot souffle. And it's flowing out and I'm growing this stuff. Or is poison ivy what's coming out of my mouth? What is flowing off of my tongue? If I believe that as I believe, so it is. Makes us be a little bit more careful what I'm saying. Do I really want to complain if knowing that what I'm complaining about brings more complaining things to complain about to me? That when I talk bad about someone or something, I'm actually opening the door saying, yes, right now I'm talking bad about her, but I welcome more things, more people to bother me, to annoy me, to harass me, so that I have more people to talk bad about. It's an invitation. Is it going to happen? Yeah. Sometimes we are going to say things that, I didn't really mean to say that. And what do? Mindful, be aware. What I really meant, or a more in alignment with spiritual truth, a way of saying that could have been, would have been that. That's what I choose to believe. That's what I choose to say. That's what I choose to put out into all of creation. Choice. As you believe. Last two. Alive. When we talk about being alive, we're all alive, clearly. But being alive means being attuned. Knowing that you know that you know. So you can turn on the radio, and you can, whatever you're going to do, and you're going to get a variety of radio stations. And if you go to, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 7.291, the radio station of complaining all day, every day. First thing we're going to complain about is, isn't the weather awfully horrible today? You're going to wake up and you're going to have a miserable day. Do you listen to this? Is that what you are attuned to with your life? The people you socialize with, when you hang out with friends, do your friends echo and mirror that radio station? Hey, how are you today? And she says, I'm doing well, Ray. Did you listen to the radio station today? It was 7.177.2, complaining all day, every day. I'm like, namaste, I gotta go. You know, who do you associate with? My parents used to tell me that the people in your closest circle, if you step out and look at them, all of them are some kind of composite of you. So if this circle of friends and you have the one friend who ain't got nothing nice to say about nobody, they're mirroring you. They're your friend. And then this friend is always the one that they will walk up to a telephone pole and flirt just because it's standing still long enough. It's a reference to every single one of them in some way, shape, or form is a composite of you. Is that what you want? Are you attuned to that kind of energy? Or do you want to say, this is the vision that I have for my life. This is the vision I believe that ties into why Source showed up as me. What kind of friends are going to encourage me to do that? Because if your friends aren't pushing you and encouraging you, then they're not friends. They can be associates and companions and whatnot, but a friend says, now you know you could have done 3 extra push-ups. You know that, right? You know you could have done, you know you should probably, well, you know I would suggest that your friends are going to push you to excel, to be something greater than you may even believe you can be. They're going to say, come to the edge. No, I'm afraid. Come to the edge. And they came, and they pushed them, and they flew. That's what a friend is going to do. Encourage you to come to the edge, because they know you have wings. And you get to the edge, and you're like, oh, I'm afraid. And they're going to say, yeah, but look, it's a great view. Look, now fly. As terrifying as that is, because I know when I said that, y'all were like, oh, look over the edge. Oh, you pushed me. Your heart jumped. I can tell by the way some of y'all smiled. It was like, just the thought of that, being pushed off the edge. But a real friend is not going to push you before you're ready to fly. Is that what you are attuned to? Lastly, and so it is. Ashe, Amen. It's already done. Nothing about you needs to be added, altered, or changed. You're already perfect. Now we can say we're perfectly imperfect or imperfectly perfect or Scooby-Doo and supercalifragilistic. I don't care. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Tomato, tomato. As long as it's in the salad, I'm good. You're already whole, perfect, and complete. Right here, right now. It's done. It's already done. So you already have complete and total access to everything that you would ever want to be, everything that you would ever want to do, and everything that you would ever want to have. You're already 100% connected to it. Now, how well you see that connection? How well you feel it? Alters and varies. How many of us in here right now have a heart? Oh, everybody not got a heart. Like, wait a minute. I don't think I have one. Right. Everybody here has a heart. But you don't think about it until you have reason to think about it. Until you run and you're like, shoveling snow. Take it slow. Slow and easy wins the race. I ain't trying to go to the doctor and the doctor's puts it, and you're like, oh my goodness, hope everything. You don't think about your heart till you have reason to think about it. And that's fine. But think of what that applies to. We don't think about source being 100% already here, already done. It's already us. We don't really think about it until we have reason to. We come here and we think about it because you have people like me talking to you about it. But when you go out of these doors, it's up to each and every one of us to walk out and repeat, knowing, and so it is. As I believe, be attuned, be in alignment, and be awake. The all that is absolutely right here in me and as me, with me and moving throughout me. It's already done. It's already done. I'm all right because it's all right. And so it is.
It is.